Begin Within Ministries proudly presents Sofa Sundays with your hosts, Michelle Azugwu and Reverend Jeannie Sovereigns. Sundays at 11:11 a.m. Arizona time. And rebroadcast on Mondays at 7 p.m. Mountain Time. Come join us on the sofa every Sunday. Sofa Sundays with Michelle and Jeannie. Learn more at www.beginwithinministries.com. In partnership with New Thought Media Network.
Okay.
Hello. Live in the studio.
Hi there. Okay, let me turn it on.
Having technical.
It won't come on while we're charging it.
Oh, the light's on.
Is it? Okay, and we're on. All
Are we
right,
back
perfect.
on?
I think so.
We fixed the problem.
Oh, Lordy,
In the nick of time. And now I'll drink my coffee.
So, good morning. Happy Mother's Day. And ladies, I just want to say that we have roses for everybody. So, before you leave today, please take a rose or two. Since, yeah. So,
Smells so good.
just, there is so many times, and it comes to celebrating Mother's Day, where, people are like, oh, I'm not a mom, but you had one. Okay. Mm-hmm. Everybody had a mom. So it's a day to celebrate just the feminine energy, the goddess energy of Mother God, of the whole world, of Mother Earth.
It doesn't have to be that you didn't have a great mother experience or a mothering experience, or you didn't have a mother, whatever.
Somebody gave birth to you.
There's still Mother Earth. There's still feminine energy that you could spend this time. So it doesn't have to be a holiday that you don't get to participate.
Right. And I know sometimes people have lost their mothers, and that, so sometimes this is a sad time period. I know you lost your mom, and, so sometimes, and Karen, and, there's that, we feel that loss. So I just want to acknowledge you as well. And sometimes we lose babies. And we've lost children.
There's so many things around this day that sometimes it's amazing and some people don't have an amazing experience. So we I think
honor all
on
that.
Of that.
Yeah. And fur mamas, right? Because I don't know about you guys, but I got 5 cats.
Too.
I'm a fur mama and I got 5 cats, and sometimes they can be worse than kids. I'm just saying. I
literally got up this morning and took the puppy out.
Did Ozzy get you anything for Mother's Day?
A cuddle, 2 hours of cuddles.
Oh, how sweet.
So I brought him back in the bed, and I was like, I'm not supposed to really sleep with him in the bed because Peter's like, I don't want him to get used to that. I'm like, okay.
Too late,
so
Peter.
So we started to walk toward the bed, and Ozzy knows because we do this, we sneak in there. So
she's announcing it.
Well, Peter's right there. He rolls over and he goes, oh, and then he logged on it too. I had 2 hours of oh my gosh, the best.
Nice.
Not better than
Honey,
Honey
needs to learn how to take a nap.
Yeah. You got to really wear him out really well. But for some reason, he cuddled this morning. I think it was Mother's Day.
It was Mother's Day.
So he's whatever you want, Mom. I guess I'll cuddle.
Right. There you go.
Yeah. So I started my day off.
Beautiful. I love that. So we're here.
Oh, can I say one more thing?
Oh, yeah, sure.
And then all of a sudden there was a knock at the door a couple hours later when I was supposed to start getting ready. And then True gave me this gift from him and his twin sister this morning.
Really?
Yes, he had gone to the mall and found my favorite scent over at Bath and Body Works.
Bath and Body Works.
And then
and
I was like, oh my gosh, I love this stuff. I'm gonna plug it in right now. I was all excited. He didn't get me the candle because he's like, I knew you had the candles, but he got me the little cartridge that you plug in the wall. I'm like, yay, I'm so excited. So I undo it, whatever. I plug it in the wall and I go about my business. Before we leave, he goes, Mom, you plugged it in the wall wrong. I'm thinking, how can you plug it in the wall wrong? There's what, because it was upside down. So it kind of spilled everywhere. That's okay. I fixed it. I'm like, oh my gosh.
Don't let your mother plug in the sense. Gotcha. Yeah. The lesson for this morning on the sofa.
Help your mothers.
Yes,
Just
that's right.
help your mom double check, make sure she's
Yeah.
fully awake before she does things.
Yeah, that, you know,
Whatever.
True is truly a good kid.
Truly awesome. And he's
Yeah.
your favorite.
He is my favorite.
Lyric does not watch these.
Yeah, so
She's
Lyric
not
doesn't watch
here.
it, and Trey doesn't
Trey
watch
it,
anymore
so we're
either.
good.
So
we're good.
yeah,
You can
but
say
True
that.
will go home and tell.
Oh,
So
yeah.
you know, we know that.
And
And why
he
is-
does
why-
sandwiches.
Yes. And why is he the favorite? I'm not-
So a couple of weeks ago, you weren't on the sofa, and I didn't have a guest, and I was here all by myself.
We're all lonesome.
I was all lonesome on the
no.
sofa, and True was my tech person that day. And not only was True the tech person, but True participated in doing the little things that we were doing.
Mhm.
And also at the end, when it was all done, he said he really liked it. And that to me meant more than anything, because when
Aw.
you can capture the attention of a
I know,
13-year-old,
right? That's a big deal.
that's a big deal. Yeah, that's
And
a
my
big deal.
kids would not say that if it wasn't true. Like they're the kind of kids you'd be like, just say just say thank you. Like I didn't
Yeah.
really like it though. I know, but just say it, you know. But
Yeah.
they're not like that. They're like
Yeah.
they're genuine human beings, and so for him to say that was
Yeah, I immediately
100%.
texted you. I was like, oh my God. It was
Well, and they
awesome.
engage
Yeah.
with everything.
Yes. Yeah. So
Yeah, so it was
I
awesome.
appreciate that, True. Appreciate that.
So we're here at the Unleash Your Life Studios.
Home of Dr. Reverend Michelle Whittington. Yes, we
Yes.
are. Yeah, where she has her practice. Lots of feminine stuff that she works with men too. So it's not only just for the ladies, although she's been our mentor for over 20 years.
Yes.
I think. Yes. And so highly can recommend you go to unleashyourlife.us to check out what she has going on in this beautiful space. Always has something going on.
Always
something
has
new
something going on.
starting or something continuing.
And she is having be a rock star of your finances, I think is what it's called. And that's a new class coming up. And so go to her website. I believe that it's on there.
you can register on
You
there.
can register
Oh,
on
nice.
there. And, you know, if you ever thought about like, oh, I don't really do this whole savings thing or debt thing well, you know, she has a system that'll teach you to be a rock star of your finances.
Yeah,
so
but she
I can,
herself has been doing it
Yes.
for a long time.
so I highly recommend this. I will be in that class as well. I,
you could see
Yeah.
Somebody said
too.
yesterday, I don't think I have the money for that class.
yeah, I was like, yeah, you'll manifest
There's
that
your
money.
first,
Yeah,
there's your
now-
first clue.
There's
Right.
your thing right there. Yes.
So, and we're located at 7220 North 16th Street in Phoenix, Arizona. We're between Glendale and Northern, or Northern and Glendale, depending on which direction you're coming from.
True.
And, you know, I just wanted to give out the address to let you know we are in person. Please come see us. We have a blast here.
We do. We have great people here who love to hug. So, I mean, you don't have to give hugs, but I mean, if you want some hugs,
If you want some hugs.
you're not
yes.
getting your quota of
There are
hugs
hugs
each
to be
week.
had.
Yes.
They're in here, and we're trying to build that in-person community. We love being online as well, that we get that option, but we are building an in-person community.
Correct. All
So
right.
Join us. Join us.
So, would you like to pray us in today?
Absolutely.
All right. Sounds like a plan.
Coming into this present moment, take a deep breath and let it go. As we let go of anything that has come before this moment, and we let go of anything coming after this time together, we recognize there's only one power, one presence. There's only one thing, and that is God, the divine spirit energy. It is love. It is joy, peace, connection, beauty. It is everything. And each one of us are that everything, manifesting uniquely as ourselves. We are each that joy, that love, that connection, that peace. showing up in our own unique way as God moves in as and through us with each breath. And from that place of my truth, I speak my word into the law, knowing that as I do, I set the law of God in motion for the highest and best for this time together. For each person in this room, hearing my voice now, and for anyone watching and hearing my voice later. I know that it is a precious time that we have set aside for ourselves, for this connection, for the sharing of ideas and thoughts and stories and laughter. And I know that as we stay present, as we stay with what's happening, I know that each of us receives what is ours to receive. We each are truly blessed by this time together. And so I'm grateful. I'm grateful for this moment, for all that is to come. And I let it go and know and trust it is perfect, divinely guided and blessed. And together we say, and so it is. And then with that, I'm going to smell my rose. There you go.
Oh, thank you.
More
Lovely, more roses.
I
Oh,
want to smell those roses too.
You want to smell those?
I love smelling roses. I thought you were putting your rock.
I thought she was putting her. She put her rock down too.
Oh, she's so efficient this morning.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Are they very fragrant?
Oh my goodness.
It's always good to stop
and
and smell the roses. They are.
Ooh, those are
Beautiful.
good ones. Did the ones,
They-
ones in the back smell good too?
Yes.
Ooh.
Yes. So,
What?
all the roses.
So what?
So what? So buttons on your shirt. That's what my grandmother used to say. It's so funny.
Oh my goodness.
It's so funny.
Let's
So
talk about the grandmas.
right, the grandmas.
Do it,
I
grandmas things.
I posted that a picture of me and my great grandmother on Facebook, and I was about 12, and she had to be about 75, and we were the same height.
Oh.
And
Oh my.
yeah, I've always been tall.
Yeah.
And she's always been short. She was short. So, she was an amazing, I loved her. She had a little bit of dementia, and that was fun as a teenager or as a young, as a pre-tween type of person, because I could tell her anything and she'd, one, forget, and two, she would laugh. I remember telling her the same joke like every week for a month, and because she would forget it and she'd laugh, and she had this great laugh, and so then that would make me
so
laugh.
sweet.
So yeah, I know that that's hard for a lot of people, but as a young person, it was amazing to experience her.
Yeah.
She was always new.
Oh.
She was always new, and I could tell her everything, and so
I love it.
and I'm a grandma as well.
Oh, rub it in.
Sorry, get on that, Jordan.
I'm ready to be a grandma. What's going on?
Okay, so we have a reading.
Yes.
Okay, my book is getting so used now that
I love
it's
it.
becoming undone at my binding.
Love it.
From our New Thoughts for today from the affiliated New Thought Network, and we are on page 97, and it says, my intention is set. And if you're in the room, you have a card that says, my intention is set to be my greatest me.
Yes.
I love this intention.
Yes.
For surely I know the plans I have for you, says the Lord, plans for your welfare and not for harm, to give you a future with hope. Jeremiah 29:11. And this is from the New Revised Standard Version.
Mm-hmm.
Robert Frost wrote, the first thing I do in the morning is make my bed. And while I am making up my bed, I am making up my mind as to what kind of day I'm going to have. In my conscious awareness, I too set forth a plan to infuse myself with the simple essence of mindful, loving thoughts and actions for this day. I open my heart to greet the sun in my daily morning meditation. She bathes me with the warmth of vibrating rays, which I carry from here to there. Divine Source guides and measures my every step to match my intention and attention along the way. I feel comfort in the knowingness that I am steeped in divine grace and God's protection. My every word is blessed to be a success as it returns to me fulfilled. Today I move forward, knowing God has placed rose petals and orange blossoms along my path. I move intuitively in peace to bless all whom I meet today. I know the day will end in a fruitful and inspiring way. No matter how and come what may, it's my kind of day. I'm moving, I'm flowing with the wind on high alert. Whether I'm still in total silence or singing off key, my intention is set to be my greatest me. Reverend Dr. Teresa Rose Coleman, SSD, Unity, Detroit, Michigan.
Nice.
I love this.
Thank you.
This is, and we've not read from her before.
No, we haven't.
No, and that was beautiful. And I didn't even realize, and I've read it a couple of times now, but I didn't even realize the rose petal part. And so, yeah,
So special.
there we go, the rose petal.
Yes, I love it. I love the, you set your intention and then God, where is it? Where did it go? Oh, God places rose petals and orange blossoms along my path. I love
Right.
that.
And that's good if you don't have allergies.
Well, you don't have allergies to the ones that God
To the orange blossoms, come on, right? Arizona people know what I'm talking
I will
about.
suffer with allergies to smell
Just-
those orange
I
blossoms.
know,
Yes,
me
yes.
too.
I know that's what heaven smells like. I
Yeah.
used to say that as a kid. That's gotta be the,
Right.
the most, the most
I call-
divine smell.
I call springtime, because it happens in the spring and the fall here.
Yeah.
And this, I call that the orange blossom defense. Like when I do things that are so loving and so like just la 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 la. That's my orange blossom defense because I'm just springing. That's I got a hand up there.
Back in the 60s,
Oh.
you hear me?
Now we can.
Back in the 60s, when we used to come to Phoenix as the big city from the small city in northern Arizona, you could smell the orange blossoms just outside of Fountain Hills, and you knew you were here, even though it was still quite a few miles. Now there's not quite as many orange trees as there were then, but then they were just everywhere. And that's how I always knew I was in Phoenix, is I could smell the orange blossoms.
Right.
Right, we had huge orange groves
Right.
here, and I used to drive home from work when I was 16. I had a job that the whole way home came through the orange groves, and I would roll my
Yeah.
windows down and just smell them the whole
And
way
if
home.
you are not from Phoenix, you might not know that. You're like, what are these people talking about? Yeah, so here in Phoenix, orange blossoms are a big deal.
Right.
And I agree when I've been here about 20 years now, and that is something that shocked me.
Right,
was
a lot
the
of
orange blossoms.
homes, like my home that I live in now, has a big, huge grapefruit tree that was a part of the farms that were here. So they didn't destroy all of them; they kept a lot of them, and they just built houses in the
Yeah.
neighborhoods. But I have one of those trees still today, and it produces fruit all year long. So anybody
Yeah.
likes the grapefruits, and she makes the best grapefruits all year long. It never doesn't have fruit, and so it always has. Certain times of year it's stronger smell, but it almost always smells good back there. It's nice.
I love
It's a
that.
little special thing about Arizona.
It is. So I wanted to talk a little bit about intentions because, well, that's what the card
The
was.
card does say, my intention.
Right. So
That's
I
what
have
I do.
been in a class now. We are going into week 14, I think. It's called Mental Muscle. And when I'm done, I will bring it to Sofa Sundays as well. And one of our weeks was about intention. So Mental Muscle is written by Dr. James Mellon of Global Truth Center. And here is just a few of the little tidbits out of it. It says, an intention is not a plan. It's what's behind the plan. And you know you have an intention if you actually do it. Intentions are thoughts activated. And it says here, I believe that if I act on my intentions and stay open to the life force within, knowing I fully expect my life to play out for my highest good, then I will always know what to do, when to do it, and who to do it with. So I just kind of wanted to throw that out there about intentions, because I don't know about you guys, but I heard more than once that the road to hell was paved with good intentions. And I was on it. I know. I don't know when I took the exit, but I was on that road, right? Yeah. And so one of the things about intentions is that what I loved about here is this is really about doing it, and so when we were in that week, our goal or our commitment was to make an intention every day. Like, how do we plan to live this day and do it? Now, some were plans, like I plan to exercise, type of intention. And some of them were feelings. I intend to feel peaceful today. I intend to show love today.
I like that.
So it can be both. It can be either, your intention can be about actions, and it also can be about your feeling.
I like that. But I think that just anything that we're trying to do in life, you should know where you want to go.
Right.
So setting that intention, I love making the bed and setting it right then. Setting it when you put your feet on the floor, just setting it right away. Like, what are you going to do with today, right? And then everything meets up to help you.
So right.
But when you leave it to happen chance, when you just leave it to you don't set that, and then you wonder why the day isn't going as you planned. Well, you didn't plan anything.
You didn't plan it.
So it's kind of like the universe is like, well, I don't know, just throw a bunch of stuff at
Let's
her.
see what's
just see
happening.
what sticks.
Let's see what
I
she
don't know.
picks up.
What does she want, right? But if you start the day with the intention, then the day moves better. And you can do that with meditation. Like, those meditators out there, right? Is there a difference between a day you've meditated and a day you haven't?
Oh, yeah.
Palatable.
Absolutely.
Like, you can totally tell the day that I've either spiritual mind treated for myself in the morning or I've meditated is so different than a day that I maybe got up a little later. I just didn't.
And I rushed into it.
And, and then by midday, it's like, why am I just pushing and pulling through this day? And then it's like, oh yeah, I don't think I did that. So yeah, the intention is part of that. We set those intentions, and hopefully when we're meditating, you're doing that. Obviously, you're doing that when you're treating. You're doing a affirmative prayer, spiritual mind treating,
Which we talked about last week. So if you're not sure, go back and watch that
yes.
one. Not right now.
No,
Stay here.
yeah,
Just checking.
Don't let her confuse you. It's
Right.
you're
It happens. Yeah.
But yeah, so both of those things naturally they set an intention, and then the day should unfold from there.
Mhm.
So I love how she says this, and I love how it's showing how spirit moves to meet you and to help you along the way, instead of just throwing stuff at you.
Right.
Yeah, we have to work on controlling what's happening up here.
And I know the difference between those type of days, like you were talking about.
Oh yeah.
And for me, my intentions on the weekends are generally about self-care and love and peace. Like Saturday and Sunday, my waking up is way more calm and rolling, and unlike Monday through Friday. Yeah. So my Monday through Friday intentions tend to have a little bit more, the word that just came was angst, right?
If you're being honest.
If I'm being honest, that was the word that, I was going to say motivation, but the truth is angst, right? Because the things that happen in my brain is, what do I have to do? Okay, I have to make sure that I go through the water bills at work. Okay, I know that I have to close this house. Okay, is so-and-so going to pay this? Is it, I have these that I wake up with,
Right.
Knowing that I have stuff to do at work.
Right.
And I'm sure everyone has that, when it's your movement day of work, of, I've got to do things, versus there is nothing I have to do today days.
Nice.
So allowing myself to,
Good. Nothing
To be.
you have to do days.
I do. I do. I have, like, even today, I don't have to be here. I choose to be here. So
You have to.
I have, but I choose to be here. Like, there is a difference.
We don't have to. But we
I went to my, monthly workshop class yesterday. So there's these things that I choose to have in my life, and I love my job most days, so don't get me wrong. But it feels more of a have to since I have to pay bills, right? I could choose not to, and then I could choose to be living in a tent.
I mean,
Like, there are certain
there are
things
choices,
you have
yes.
choices that
You
you
have
have
choices. You do have choices.
you do have choices. Yeah.
I always feel like I have so much to do. So the children at home and the puppy and the husband, and which is I don't mind any of it though. Like there's nothing that I have in my life where I'm like, well, maybe cleaning bathrooms. Maybe I don't want to do that.
And that's what Reese for.
I know that's why we have Rena.
Yeah.
That's good. But yeah, so I don't ever have a day where there's nothing to be done. But what's cool is that I have created a life where whatever it is, I want to do it.
Right.
So nothing is like a miserable thing that I have to do.
And I think that's the most important thing about intention, is that it's not a miserable thing that I have to do, right?
Right.
I said I have some angst in my Monday through Friday, but they really aren't miserable things that I have to do. I just don't want to forget stuff, I don't know how many of you are note takers, right? Okay. That's me, right? At the side, like I sit down.
Yeah.
Exactly. There is
Yes,
satisfaction
so
to
good.
that. I have like many of them in a drawer just in case. So, and I've been at this job 10 years. Do you know how many there are?
Yeah.
Like, I wouldn't even know what it meant anymore at this point.
If you leave it long enough, it goes away.
Right, exactly. And then I can flip the page over. And every Thursday at work, we have a meeting. And it now has become that 3 minutes before the meeting starts, I tell dad jokes. It's gotten to the point now that if I'm not on the call, they're like, where were you? And so now they're a part of my notes too, because I look them up, I write them down. Yeah, so they're not just that, there's little dad jokes in there. I got a good one. Want to hear it?
Yes, do it.
Yes.
Okay. So NASA decided to send I'm sorry to the aliens. Okay? And so they sent out a rocket, and you know what they named it? Apollo G. Yes, true. Yes, you love it.
She was like embarrassed, but he loved it.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
love it. He's like,
Yeah.
I can't believe I'm laughing at that right now.
Yeah.
See, I
so-
write them. I'll have different lists going on, and then I like to then go. I'm gonna get all my things. I'll be somewhere else, and something will happen. I'll have to write some stuff down, so I get them all onto my master list, and I can
Lists of
I can
lists.
throw those away. It's like, yes, I'm at one now.
Yes.
And then they grow again. I did that this morning.
I have one. I'm like, yes, and then I populate it onto my schedule for the week. I'm so happy, and then by the end of the week, I got all the different things again, and I got. But
That's
yes,
what, that's what the hot dog vendor said. Make me one with everything.
They can't help it.
We can't help it.
can't help it.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
So I know you have that list. So when Michelle went on her honeymoon, she had to leave me her iPad. And then she had to ask me for something on it. So I had to go on it before just, putting it up. And then I saw the calendar. And I looked because I went in and put my birthday on there because it wasn't on there. And so now it is.
Now you know.
Is she adorable or what?
And all her stuff is popping up, and I'm like, wow,
Oh, you didn't even see my Trello board.
No. This was like, wow, that was just the calendar, right? There, and actually, that was one of the calendars. I think I put it on the family one.
Yes,
Yes.
our family.
I put it on the family
Yeah.
calendar.
Yes,
Yeah.
they all
So-
populate together.
Oh, do they? Of
Yes.
course they do.
Yes.
Yeah. So there you go. And make sure it's on
Look
people's
on there.
calendars.
I wonder how she did it. She probably said the amazing Jeannie saw
No.
her birthday.
It just says Jeannie's birthday. Yeah.
Oh, all right.
I do that when I go to people's offices too, and if they have a calendar on the thing, I'll go up and I'll write.
They're like, who's Jeannie?
Right.
So when I was a teacher, the very first thing I did as a teacher, the very first day of school, I would say to everybody, they'd all get these agendas. They were middle schoolers, they get the agenda. And I'm like, okay, so you have your agendas now. And I'd go through the special things they needed to know off the school calendar, right? This year to go there. And the last one, go to September 18th. They're like, going to September, okay, right there, that's Miss M's. But my last thing back then was Mudre, when I was married to my first son, father. So I would say that's Miss M's birthday, and they'd go, and I like homemade chocolate chip cookies. I do not like homemade cake. I want it from the box with the icing from the can. Do not homemade the cakes, but homemade the cookies. I don't want those store bought. So they would look at me like,
And they're like now taking notes.
I'm like, oh my God. And then every birthday,
You get chocolate chip cookies?
multiple children would come in with cakes and cookies. Oftentimes it was reversed. They messed it up.
They messed it
So I
up.
get these, warped little cakes with the terrible frosting, but I didn't care. It was just so sweet. They were so excited to come in and bring me that stuff. But yeah,
That's so nice.
because it ruined a few things for me though, because I used to not show up. I used to take off on my birthday.
Yeah.
But when I was a teacher, I realized I can't take off on my birthday. These kids are gonna be like, "It was your birthday. You weren't here." So
I won't be here that weekend of my birthday, so we can have it the week
When is it?
before. Mine's June 28th.
hold on,
Oh.
hold on. Let me
Yeah,
let
check
you-
your calendar. Ask Michelle. It's in her calendar. Yeah.
Yours is the 25th, right?
Oh,
so
Cancer's
we may have-
in the house.
We might have to have a party.
Right?
We should have a monthly birthday celebration on the sofa.
We should.
I know, all
Anybody
All
have
your
May's
May
birthday?
birthdays? Any May birthdays?
No.
If you have a May birthday, put it in the comments. for
Yes, if you have a May birthday. Amy was in April.
us.
Yeah, so happy belated. I don't know if you were in. I don't know where you
Sister
were.
was 60 yesterday.
Wow.
Wow. And Trey, he turned 17 on the 5th
On
Cinco
Cinco
de
de
Mayo.
Mayo.
I know. I always tell him, "You're welcome. I gave you an amazing birthday. You'll never have to throw yourself a party." It's
Right,
perfect.
it's always going to
You're
happen,
welcome.
especially if you live in this state.
Yeah.
There'll
I know,
always
I
be something.
know.
My partner's birthday is this month, and hang on, I have to make sure I get it right. The 26th.
Yeah, in case she's watching.
Yeah.
What are you doing?
Yeah, May 26th.
There you go.
You know, it's so funny because like I always have to think about it because it's around Memorial Day. So,
Yeah,
so we always get that day off. Yeah,
we love
that
it.
is so far off from intention.
It's okay.
Yeah, it's
We do what comes natural on the sofa.
we just yeah.
My
It's called
intention
Sofa
is-
Sunday.
Yeah.
That's why it's called Sofa Sunday.
So-
Yeah, exactly.
Oh.
Thank God it's called Sunday in the title. I might forget when we needed to be here.
Oh my God.
I just spilled coffee.
All right,
True, can you get
some napkins there.
I thought it was-
Look, it's been Scotch guarded. It's just sitting right on top. It's not even going in.
There you
It's
go.
amazing. See, this place is amazing.
Amazing, amazing Scotch
No,
card.
but the second part of this card though isn't just, it's set to be the greatest me though.
Right, so that's a
So it's
different.
my intention is set to be the greatest me.
And so a lot of people might think, okay, what is it about being the greatest me? How does that happen? How do I get to be all that I am? What does that look like? Right? And so for each person, that's going to be different, right?
Right.
Like success can be defined very differently for each person.
Oh, yeah.
For me,
Don't ever assume what someone thinks success
right.
is for them, even in their business or even that you can't assume that. You have to ask what does success mean to you? What are your goals? Where are you trying to get to? It's incredible the different
Right.
the different
Because
responses you get.
it's not always money. For me, success is not
Yeah,
money. Success is happiness. You know, when I wake up and I don't have angst, that is successful. Right.
Freedom.
Yeah.
to do
And
what I
that's
wanna
the
do, yeah.
greatest me.
Mhm.
My greatest me is when I can be authentically, unapologetically me.
Right.
And I was talking with someone last week and we were talking about that. And I said, there are some times where I might feel that others are judging me as being too much, and she goes, you know what? It's not your job to be digestible for others. And I went, wow,
Yeah, really.
that's amazing.
That's a good one to write down and remember.
Right?
That's not my job.
That's not my job to
Not
be
my job.
digestible for others.
Mhm.
That being me is about exactly that. Being me, my greatest me. And if that's not for you, God bless you, move on.
Right.
Mhm.
Right. And how would they know if you weren't authentic and being your greatest me, being exactly who you are? I think that is what your greatest me is definitely individual to each person, what that would look like. But because of that too, you know exactly what it takes to get there. Whether you choose to do that or not is up to you. Whether you choose to wake up and set those intentions that would get you to your greatest me or allow you to be your greatest me that day or whatever, that's on you, because only you know what that is and only you know how to get there. But I think that setting that intention every day, not as pressure to be, if you feel pressure, you're not talking about your greatest me.
Right.
We're talking about your greatest me. You're talking about the greatest me that other people might think you should be.
Exactly. I was going to say, you're in your shoulds.
Yes, it's because it
Yeah.
Other than
shouldn't
what
feel
you think you should be.
right. Yes, it shouldn't feel pressured. It should feel not enlightening. What's the word I'm thinking of? Huh?
What were you saying?
Pulled to, drawn to.
Yeah,
Drawn
it
to.
should feel good. Like it should feel like the word is escaping me, but like not enlightened, but like I can't think of the word, but it should feel flowing, like something that you just do naturally. Just you allow yourself just to be what that is.
Right. And I don't even like this movie, but you know what?
Movie.
Sound of Music. That's when you were talking about that. The only thing I could see is when she's doing that thing on the hill,
Rolling
right?
around
Yes.
Yeah.
Like a
That.
lunatic.
But that feeling that
But
you
that's
get,
that
yes, that's
feeling.
what's the word for
I
what is
don't know.
that?
Well, anybody know the word for that?
What is that?
Put that in there.
that-
What is that?
Exhilaration, exude.
Yes, that big self, that
Isn't that-
Yeah.
yeah, but you allow that. You allow that God
Expansion.
self. Yes.
Ooh,
like that,
expansion's
life
a good one.
expansion.
Yeah.
Let that out. Let people.
Because
have
you
that.
know,
That's
like
the
when
truth of who you are.
you know when you are so contained,
Ugh.
right? And there are time periods where that's what you have to be,
True.
right? You have to be self-contained because that's what the situation calls for, you know. And then there are time periods where you can be that inner being, that light being that you are. You know, I think of things like ecstatic dance, like yoga,
Mhm.
like yoga nidra, like, you know, gong washes, fire walking. These are time periods where I got the God bumps
Oh,
again.
she got 'em.
These are the time periods where I feel that expansion and that inner being that is connected to you. You know, that part where we're not separated, where we're one, that oneness, you know, where we unzip this monkey suit and just be. And man, that's a great feeling.
It is great. You can
That's the
feel it.
Mm.
But there are times where we can run through a whole week and not get that at all.
Yeah.
Right? Because we're just keeping the paces going or keeping up with whatever.
Because we have our list.
Yes.
And we like our list.
And I think we need to really be careful of just running and running and running
Mhm.
and keeping it so contained. Like we should be able to be that. It doesn't have to be the hills. It shouldn't have to be that every, it doesn't have to be like this, but it can be that in everything we do. It can still be that in everything we
Right.
do. But that's coming from intention. Like if you don't have intention, if you're not deciding and choosing how it's going to be, you're running by default. And you're running by whatever programming you were given, or whatever is running around out there. You're kind of being tousled around, and that's still a choice. You can still choose to do that, but you can tell just by what I'm saying the difference in feeling,
Right,
and also the difference in manifesting, the difference in what your life's going to look like,
right.
what it feels
And
like when you come home after a day like
that
that.
is the biggest thing there, right? So for May, our overall theme here is
Mhm.
manifesting May. And when you set intentions, you are putting out there, and right, what do we say? The universe always says yes.
Always says.
And
yes.
last week we talked about, you know, the prayer and the different steps in Science of Mind prayer and being able to give that, right? And know that and release our intentions into the universe and get the yes back. And so, you know, talking about how to do that, how do we get those intentions?
right.
So you know, when you wake up and make your bed, I haven't made my bed in so long because I'm the first one out of it.
What's the
It's
point?
unbelievable. You know, I will tell you this.
I like getting, so my husband does not make the bed. I'm a bed maker. And also my husband is 6'8". So he takes up everything, the bed, the blankets, the whole thing. So he has his own blankets and I have my own blankets just because it doesn't, if we tried to share, it doesn't cover him. He just needs his own things. So it's just so cute. I mean, not that I want everybody to see, but I just think that we're hilarious. So he has his side of the bed and that's his stuff. And I do make my side of the bed every morning because I like to get into it's something about that sets my day. When I look at it, I'm good. When I go to bed at night, I just get in it. It makes me feel good to know my bed's made all day. And I don't need him to make his side of the bed for me to feel that way. That's on him. Some days I can tell he's like, you know, and it's like, hey, I'm not trying to make you do anything. Someday if you want to make your bed, you'll start making your bed if it starts to feel like that for you. For me, that sets my day up. The days that I don't make my bed, I'll right away have a different day.
Yeah.
Microphone. Put your
Microphone.
Hold on.
Are you
It
on?
goes off on its own.
Yeah.
So why do you get mad at us whenever he tells us to clean our room? Why do you get mad at us for not making our bed if that's not? I mean, like whenever.
Because I need
She
to
was
impart-
talking about him, not
Yeah,
you.
I'm
He's
just
a
saying.
husband.
I'm just saying.
I love it though. He's a grown man and he'll make his choices. You're my children.
Right.
And it's for me to impart those teachings onto you. That I feel like that's really important to make your bed in the morning.
Yeah.
It sets the intention for the rest of the day for you. I feel it's important to have a clean room and a clean space. It clears your mind. So I don't need it to be like that all the time, but I do feel like it's really important that you don't live in a pigsty with plates and dishes and stuff all over the floor. You can't even open your door because I think that does the opposite of what you're trying to do.
Some nice girl will like you someday because you're
Right?
Yes. She is training you to be somebody's man.
Yes, that's
Right.
right. And to
Yeah, I know
care,
my son's great.
you're right. And I feel like that's how you care about yourself. It shows respect to yourself. And so for a grown man, I'm not his mother. I'm his wife. I'm not going to tell him, I'm not going to do that. He understands that for himself and he makes his own choice. I am your mother. That is my job with you.
Good question though.
Is to help you navigate that so that you can he didn't
Tried
have
on for a few
Yeah,
years.
he didn't have a mom like me teaching him that. He was in a boarding school, so no one taught him that stuff about himself. So I model, and then he'll pick up what's his to pick up. That's on him. But for you, my job is to teach you and to help you to care about yourself that way. So and you can interject anytime you want.
Yes,
I love
you
it,
can.
and I just want you to know your thoughts and things are really important. So just because you're my kid doesn't mean that you can't. I love that you just did that. You should do that anytime you want.
Yay.
Bravo.
So when I first got sober, that was my number one that was the number one request from my sponsors, that I make my bed every day. She said, if you make your bed every day, you've accomplished at least one thing,
I've heard
right?
that. I've
And
heard
have that
yes.
accomplishment. And then I saw this thing on some social media recently about bed making, and I loved this. It was like, when I make my bed in the morning, it is a gift to get in, and it is a gift to unwrap and get in at night.
It is. I love
And
it.
I was like, oh, that
It
is
is
so
how it feels
cool.
at night. Yeah. When
Yeah.
your sheets are already ready and you're so tired and you get in and everything's
And
right.
you
It
can
is
just get
a-
in
it
and
feels
do
so
it. So, yeah, so there you go. On Sofa Sundays, we recommend that you make your bed.
We do recommend it.
Um,
Comment in the comments if you're a bed maker.
bed maker or not. All right, I want to see a show of hands. Who makes their bed? Sometimes.
I'm just
True.
gonna get back in it.
True's like, I do, but we already know why. So
So, and I also have to wrestle all the dogs in bed. So.
there you go.
But you know if that's
Why
for
doesn't
you.
Ann have a girlfriend?
But Ann, you know if that's for you or not.
Mhm.
So I know making the bed is for me.
Mhm.
I know that. Some people are not going to feel that way. They're gonna be like, making the bed doesn't do anything for me. Then it feels like that to me. Like,
When
why
put
should I
fresh
do that?
sheets on and
Yeah.
then it's like I make it, it looks good
Yes.
for a minute.
So when you make it, you get
Yeah,
into
it's like fresh sheets. Right. Try and make it fresh sheets every day.
Right. Just because that's how we're thinking about it doesn't mean that that is the only way.
Right,
You
no.
have to check that with yourself. if it does feel like that to you, then I recommend that you make
Yeah.
that part of your intentional, part of your morning routine. If that is what it feels like, if it feels like, why am I doing that? I'm just gonna mess it.
Right.
Then
Right.
that's not yours to
No,
do.
and, you
can
know,
do something else.
That's the thing, right? Is like, I don't like to give away good energy to something that feels like a should,
Yes.
right? That's not a
exactly.
thing.
That's not
So
yours
every morning, Monday through Friday,
to do.
I don't have to worry about what I'm gonna wear. I wear a uniform to work.
Oh my
There
gosh.
is no, right?
I would kill.
There is no energy that I waste on that. Now, anybody who knows me knows that I wear jewelry and fabulous glasses.
Yes,
So
you do.
I
Those
do-
are my favorites.
I do make efforts there, right? But that doesn't take very long in the morning for me to decide what jewelry I'm going to wear. It's all right there. But I don't have, like, seriously, I have to look at property name because I have 2 properties. So that's about the only decision I have to make is which one am I going to today? That, you know, and that frees me so that when I do have to choose on Sundays, sometimes I choose Saturday night, you know, yeah, I have all this stuff. Yeah, I love that. So there's different things, right? And then, so there's clothing, there's your bed, there's food, right? If you make a menu before, I used to do this. I used to make menus beforehand and shop via menu when I had a ton of kids at home. And because you had to, right?
Right.
And so that takes a lot of the choice off. If you are one of those, which I've done this now for years, where we get food from different places, like I did Factor for, you know, the food delivery systems, Hungry Root I did, now we're doing Imperfect Foods. So if you have foods coming in, you generally have a menu set up where, you know, maybe you don't know what day, but
Yeah.
I look in and I go, that's a 5-minute meal, that's a 10-minute, oh, that's gonna take 30, you know, and so I know which one to pick for the day. So there are a lot of intention settings that I make sure I set up beforehand so I don't have to waste a lot of time on it.
See, that's so smart too.
Yeah.
I used to do that, but I think I'd like to get back to that because as you're talking, that feels good to me.
Yeah.
So that's something that I could do that would make my days better. Yeah.
Yeah.
I
And
think
when
it's
you
just
have
great.
those things, then the creativity that you have can go this is my thought process,
It's
right?
true.
This is all just opinion and conjecture. But then my creativity can go someplace else. It can go
It's true.
to my writings, to my school, you
Right.
know,
Well, that's why
to here, you know.
That's why Steve Jobs wore the same outfit every single day because he recognized if you only have the ability to make 50 decisions a day, look at how many you're making already in the first few minutes getting up.
Mhm.
You know, if you're picking your clothes, what am I going to eat? If you do that like that, now no wonder why you're tired at the end of the day and you can't make another
Right.
you can't do another
So,
thing.
Do you know
So
that?
he
Like,
took
yeah.
that stuff out of his life because he wanted to be able to use brain power for creating, I guess, bones.
I guess
this
Because if you think about it, how many times have you come home and be like, what do you want for dinner, babe?
Yeah.
I can't, not
do
one more decision
So you
today.
just grab whatever, right?
Yeah. And that,
It's all
you know,
gone.
then that's when we get into the bad eating habits, right? When we can no
Right.
longer make decisions for the
Right,
day.
totally.
And that
You
makes
don't go to the
total.
gym and you don't do any of the things. You're just
That makes
you're
total
done.
sense.
You're-
So if
you're
you have
fried.
set your intentions up, like when my legs started hurting at the end of April, I took off from doing my routine all of May. And it was so hard to get back into my routine, which was I woke up, I got my hot water and lemon, I hit the stationary bike, and then I did yoga. And I stopped doing that, and I'm still not back. I get up, I do the stationary bike, but I haven't added back the yoga yet. And it's on my heart mat. I mean,
Mhm.
like, this is an intention that I
Yeah.
really want, but for some reason, I cannot get myself there. So I must not really want it. You know, there's this part of me that's like,
It is that, yeah.
you know, that I'm fighting with. Because the only person this is for is me.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I have to look at what that's about for me, like why don't want to give that 10 minutes. And that's all I ever did was 10 minutes. Okay. So there's,
Sometimes I think with working out, you have to just start.
yeah.
You have to just start. Like because we all need it. We all need to exercise our bodies in some way. So that I'm just telling you, you don't have to make your bed, but you need to do something physical
You need
with
to do
your
something
body.
physical. Yeah.
But it's so important. And I know that, and I've always said, put your money there. Like it's expensive, but then you'll show up, right? But your intention should be. to
You
take
think? Do you know how many people pay for a gym membership?
Yeah.
and
They're
never
not
go?
paying enough. They're not paying enough then, because when I put a
And you
lot
can't
of
get out
money.
of it.
Yeah, I put a lot of money, then it's not enough. It's kind of like paying. You want to learn how to play the piano, but the lesson only costs $30, and so you show up every single week to meet that teacher, and all you're doing is practicing. You don't practice all week long, so you do your practice with that person. It never moves the needle
Are you
forward.
looking at my house?
Yeah. But if it costs you $100, something that was hard for you to do, you bet you're not going to show up there just to practice with that teacher. You're going to practice all week so that $100 is worth, gets what it's worth. That's the same thing as anything that you have intention. If you find that you can't do it, go hire a personal trainer at $300 or $400 a month, and you'll show up. You'll show up because you don't have that money to just throw away, like a $25 gym
Right.
membership or a $5 gym membership. So that's what I did when I knew I needed to get to work out again, and I wasn't able to get myself to go for myself. I was like, well, then I need to put my money there, because this is a goal that I have. I'm unable to do it on my own, but I know that money is a thing. So I hired a personal trainer, $379 a month, about killed me financially. But boy, I showed up every 3 times a week. I showed up. I did not show up. And eventually over time,
So interesting.
I was showing up because I wanted to go.
Right.
I started to get excited to go. I couldn't wait to see the other women in the group. I couldn't wait to see and now I go on my own because I want to go. So now I have a membership that I can go every day of the week. I just transfer that over to that, and my kids can go now. But so do whatever you have that intention, and it really truly is something you want to do. Sometimes you got to put your money there, and it will force you to.
I am
show
not
up.
paying for 10 minutes of yoga. I'm just not happening. But you make a good point.
I'm just saying,
Yeah.
Like I went to a couple years just doing that, and one day it just clicked. I'm still not. How long am I going to keep saying I
Yeah.
need to work out? How long am I going to keep saying that? I'm obviously not going to do it on my own. So what do I need to do to make it happen?
And so I love that. So what do I need to do to make it happen? So for you, it was like, I need to make this
It's
investment,
important,
right?
yeah.
I need to make this financial investment. For some people, it's, I need to make this time investment. I need to, and there's a lot of like single moms, right? And you'll be like, oh, I can't with the kids, and so like you make an effort to figure out how I can have the kids watched, did I find a place that has a gym
Something.
type of thing. I know that when I started doing the stationary bike, it was because I was going to PT after the knee replacement, and my PT guy thought I was doing so good. So I got a lot of encouragement about doing this. So it was funny that you were saying about the money thing and causing you to practice the piano type of thing during the week. But for me, it was the atta girls that I was getting from my PT person that had me continuing the exercises at
Nice.
home. And so I don't know that I'd be motivated with money, but I am motivated with, you're doing such a good job.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So find an accountability partner,
Right.
somebody that is going to know that you didn't go.
Right. And as I was going to say, so find that thing that motivates you. Like, what is it? It's like, I don't want
Right.
to spend the money, so that will make me do it. Or,
Or
is
get
it,
a partner. Have you ever, like I used to when I was young, I had a workout partner, and I'd certainly show up to not let her down.
right,
But if she wasn't going to be able to go that day, I just wouldn't go. I wouldn't show up for myself, but I would show up so that she wasn't. The
and
only-
sometimes,
but
that's what it takes.
yeah, you got
Right?
to know what it is. You got to be like,
Yeah.
is this still a goal? Is it how much longer am I going to sit on this goal? Another year that I don't get it done? How many times do you set the exact same New Year's resolution year after year and you're never doing it? You've got stop setting it then, or say I'm going to do something different, or I'm going to put. For me, it's put my money where my goal is, because I know that I don't want to throw money away. I work hard for that, and I'm going to make it happen. But sometimes we have the same want. I have the same want for my body year after year and I'm not doing
Or our
anything about
business,
it or
or
our business. It's like,
whatever,
what
yeah.
are you gonna do about it? So yeah, I think figuring out what that is. If it's a partner, you tell somebody that you trust and say, hey, I have this goal and I'm not able to do it on my own. Would you please kick my butt?
Please hold
Right.
me accountable.
Yeah.
Hold me accountable for it.
Yeah, like Michelle was
I'll
saying,
yell
she's
and
a good
scream.
butt kicker.
Right.
I'll bitch at you.
So
Yeah, yeah.
I gotta
True.
I talk so loud. I mean, for me, I played doubles tennis for 20 years when I was raising kids. And so you're meeting 4 people on the court. There are 3 other people. If you don't show up, you have 3 very angry
Yes.
women
Right.
that have all come there to play, and you cannot play with 3 people. So I just for 20 years, I think I canceled once because I woke up with the flu or something. Otherwise, you are
Right.
there. And I just tell people, you got to sign up for something that, like there's other people waiting
Right.
too.
Waiting
I
on
never
you.
missed. And then consistently 3 days a week going out there and chasing a tennis ball. Like, right, I barely had to work out. So I'm having fun. You're meeting friends, your kids are, but just like you said, you got to set yourself up for success. Something that Jeannie said though about your personality seeming big and that someone said that everyone doesn't have to digest you. Yeah, that's what I struggle with a lot. I wake up with an intention that I'm going to be a good, energetic, happy person out there. And half the people that I interact with are like, oh, you're so bright and fun and you got such a personality. But half the people that I encounter sort of give me like, you're a lot or you talk a lot or, and then I go home and I'm like, oh, well, maybe like around Sarah, I gotta be quiet. But Patty seems to like me because I'm outgoing and that's what she likes. And so I find, I'm just like trying to be this person for all these outside people and it's exhausting.
It is.
It
That
is.
And I like
exhausting.
exactly what you said. I don't care. I'm
Yeah.
gonna be who I know how to be,
100%.
and I'm not
Thank
gonna
you.
deal with that because that is
Thank
like
you.
mental madness. And
It
it's
is.
crossing my intention out. My intention to do this, and I feel sorry for you. If you don't like my energy, maybe you need to find some yourself.
That's
Because I think we need more high energy people than low energy people.
That's right. If I'm too much, go find less.
Right.
And
Exactly.
the amazing thing, and for those of you online, you didn't get to see this, but as Karen was talking and she talked about the person not finding her digestible, I watched her body language go like this.
Yep.
And that's what happens to me as well. If I feel like, or if somebody's like, you're too much, or you're too loud, or you're too whatever, then I try to be not to. And when I was telling this person that, they're like, you do not have to be digestible for other people, and you can be authentically you. And that
Right.
freedom that gives is like, because who's meant to be in your circle will stay, and those that are not meant to be will leave.
Right.
And that's okay.
Yep.
They get to choose too.
Right.
Mhm.
And
You
maybe they
know?
are lower level.
Yeah.
Like not lower level, like in a negative word, but like they need
they-
a calmer, like their
they
system
need a
can't
different-
handle all that. So
Yeah.
they need to think they'd be like, oh, that's not for me, and then find what is for them.
Yes.
Like some people they cannot
Yeah.
be that big. It's
That's
a lot for
right.
their systems.
A lot.
They're
Yeah.
more
Exactly.
sensitive, and so they need the
They need
quieter
a different,
space.
and there are people for everybody, right? We
Oh
all
my gosh,
have that
there's
type
so
of
many
thing.
people here.
And right. So we're about at that time period. My
What
goodness, how did
happened?
that happen?
I
It's
don't
just
know.
like that this
I
hour.
don't know, it was awesome because True was so good.
True was so good. Thank you, True. Thank
So
you
good,
guys.
too.
And so before we go, anything?
How can you support us?
Oh my goodness!
He's working hard for something.
He's
today.
working hard for
Wait a
his
minute,
money.
then I don't get my quarter?
He doesn't have to make his bed for a week.
I love that.
So
So,
say it again, True.
yeah, with our
How
microphone.
can you support us?
How can you support us?
Oh,
I love that he's part of the us
I
too,
know.
because he works for us, So you can do that. There's a couple of ways you can support us. You can share this, go on to YouTube, like and subscribe, and you can join our Facebook group. You can also become a Spiritual Church Club partner, and that is $45 a month or $75 for a family. You can do that at beginwithinministries.com. One other way that you can support us is that you can keep your intention to keep us uplifted as social Sundays. We are social. You can keep us uplifted in prayer, and that we continue to grow and be part of other people's lives. So if you find this good for you and you think there's other people that would find this good for them, invite them to watch. We would so appreciate that.
I
Absolutely.
did that.
Yes, I have people here that bring them all the way from
I know.
Australia, around
Yes.
the border.
Yes, we love that.
Yeah, so
We're
we do
global.
love that. We are
We're a
global.
global community.
Yes.
We are. Yes, and we love it when you come in person as well. Like we said earlier, we are building an in-person community. So if you are local and you want to just come hang out with us, like this is kind of a nice thing
Yeah,
to do
it's
for
an awesome
yourself
thing.
each week. But we love that you're out there in TV land.
In TV land, we do like you out there on our YouTube channel as well.
Yes. So, and we appreciate all the support. We appreciate the financial support because it helps us to grow this community more. And then all of our partners benefit from that. And you're going to pray us out, I think.
I am going to pray us out.
Yeah. All right, let's do it.
Okay. So knowing and affirming that there is one life, one energy, one source, and that is God, that is the universe, that is the life force that has created all. That is the stuff the stars are made from, and each and every one of us. I am part of this, as is everyone within the sound of my voice and beyond. So I speak my word now into the law, knowing that the highest and best good is already accomplished in the mind of the divine, and that this day goes forward, blessing and protecting, guiding and guarding each and every person, knowing that their intention is set for the greatest me that they can be. So I say, thank you, God. Thank you, life. Thank you, universe, for all that is. And with this, I let it go. I call it good. And together we say,
And
So it is.
all right, guys, thank you.
Happy Mother's Day.
Happy Mother's Day.
Thanks for watching. Tune in again next week at 11:11 a.m. Pacific Time, or Monday evening at 7 p.m. Mountain Time. In partnership with New Thought Media Network.